So why, in my setting, in my book, hey, there's a link in the bio, do I not want vampires to be, like, intrinsically bad? One, because the concept of biosensualism is for basic bitches. And that's not the story that I want to tell. If I have a bad guy, I want them to be the bad guy because they're a bad guy. Now, these days we have such a broad idea of what a vampire can be. Even they can walk in the daylight, and we're just like, yeah, as long as they suck enough blood, they're vampires. In Nalini Singh's Guild Hunter series, they can walk in daylight, they're not weak to silver or anything like that. They're just sexy and bite people, and immortal and super strong, etc. In other settings, as soon as the sun even begins to come up, they start kind of smouldering. Point is, there's a breadth of what a vampire can be, while we're still like, yeah, that's a vampire, sure. And what I find very interesting about vampires is that if you adjust one little thing about the world building, it really changes the story you're likely to tell. For one, is the biting sexy? Because then you can get into like addiction metaphors and stuff like that. Or is the biting not sexy? Like, have you seen these? Like, that looks like it hurts. If it turns out that a human in their right mind would probably never let a vampire bite them because that shit hurts, then we've got a whole different story to tell. Now, if you have a good idea of the kind of story that you're looking to tell, by just adjusting how vampires work exactly, it can really help you tell that story. For example, in my book, link is in the bio, so I should put a thing up there. In my book, there are good vampires who are good, and they're like, no, we don't drink blood of humans, that's weird, that's cannibalism to us. And I have a bad vampire who is the worst, and is like, yes, of course I drink from humans, yes. Cannibalism? Yeah, no, yeah. And I also dabble in people trafficking, what of it? So I want my bad guy to be a bad guy because that guy's the fucking worst. In Tokyo Ghoul, ghouls eat people. They can only eat people, they can't eat regular human food. It's really hard to be a good ghoul. And that's one of the main points. That is, in fact, the main theme of the series. There are some great monologues in that series about, is it evil for me to simply exist? Now, the authors equally could have just been like, oh, ghouls have to eat raw flesh. But that's just you kind of it doesn't it completely undercuts. It just wouldn't even be a story at that point. Questions of is my existence a sin is the point of that story. In my story, the bad guy had every possible opportunity to not be a bad guy. In fact, these days it's probably cheaper to feed yourself as a vampire than as a regular human. Again, in things like Tokyo Ghoul, you have questions of like, if the world is already going to say that I am evil, even when I am trying to be good, then why should I not live up to their expectations? Why should I keep on trying when I will never be accepted? And I'm like, because I personally I like people. I don't super want to eat them. Well, kind of undercuts the idea that this guy is super bad when to be good would be the exception to the rule. Oh, in this setting, when you're turned into a vampire, you don't suddenly be like, wow, I super want to eat some people. Like, I shall invest in some livestock and some bloodletting equipment. Anyway, link in bio. Also, if that doesn't work for where you are, you can get it on Amazon. Inheritance, Felix Nolan. Go for it.